if the PPP can respond to Gandhiji's talisman, I'm in favor of it. If it doesn't, then I'm on your side.
Hello, Chair, from the World Future Council. I'd like to ask you about the relevance of the concept of sustainable development in India today. Here over here in Europe, we've been masters of unsustainable development on the basis of the massive exploitation of fossil fuel. Today we are coming up against black planetary boundaries as never before, and the question is, how can India develop without going on the same path of utter reliance on fossil fuels as the basis of furthering its development? Thank you.
Before the term sustainable development became fashionable, Gandhi, I think the answer. One, he said, all development should be participative, it should be located in the village, and on the principle of subsidiarity, another term that Gandhi never knew, but instinctively understood. He said that anything that could be done at a lower level should be done at that level in the higher level. But then he added a coda. He said that that nature has enough to meet every man's need, but does not have enough to meet every man's greed. And therefore he wanted to limit the ambit of development to meeting fundamental human requirements. Whereas I think now we have joined the world in the mad race for more and more and get more. And I don't think it's possible for us now at this stage to get out of that race. And therefore we fought it. And fortunately, we are faced with the choice of either using more and more fossil fuels and other such damaging energy sources for us to be able to attain even a kind of the level of development that the developed world has. Okay? All suffer the consequences of climate change. Yet if today India was to not only completely cap, but totally reverse to zero our contribution to pollution in the atmosphere and above, it would not change the date of the dramatic climate change by even 2 months. It is the developed world that is responsible for this disaster. And I think it's extremely unfair of the developed world to say that unless there is in some sense a matching contribution by us of the developing world, you're not going to do anything about rescuing a world which you have damaged. And the argument goes on, and statesmanship consists, according to the London Economist, of Indian Minister of Environment working as deal-makers instead of deal-breakers, except to succumb to its demand that at least a proportional extent, unless we take on the burden, the parliaments of the developed countries will not allow the developed countries to take on the burden. Either that, or you effect technological changes which will take us away from producing methods of proceeding. Rajiv Gandhi spotted this in 1989. He made a proposal then for a planet protection fund under which every country in the world would contribute about 1% of its GDP to this fund. The fund would then buy up environmental friendly technology and make these available more or less free to all members of the fund. That idea was shot down then. Very fancy ideas have since come up about carbon trading and so forth. But at the end of the day, we are no nearer a solution today than we were in 1989. And positions are getting increasingly rigid on the part of the developed countries that they will not drastically cut down their emissions unless the developing countries agree on caps which cannot but have the effect of lowering our rates of growth. Now in a Gandhian world, we will be happy with a low rate of growth. But if the world persists in determining your political position in terms of your economic performance, of rewarding the ability to kill human beings in such a manner that a superpower is defined as one who can kill everything on this planet 51 times over, and that a madman is defined as somebody who kills one person without due reason, then in this completely lunatic world, we are left with no discipline. At least people other than me are left with no discipline. but to join in the mandate. And in joining the mandate, we are ensuring our own success. But unless and until the developed world takes a really strong decision, it's not that the developing countries should or should not attain developed living standards, but that the developed countries must consciously go backwards in the direction of being less developed than they are today. I don't see this challenge of climate change would ever be effectively met. So we've got another 25 years. Let's enjoy it. I think we're going to have a drink in a minute. And as for climate change, but we leave it to the Mexicans to sort it out.
Thanks, Mr. Iyer. But before I invite the High Commissioner to conclude this evening's ceremony to host this book launch, it's really been an honor for us to have you here and for you to speak to our audiences. I'd now like to request the High Commissioner to please come and conclude the proceedings, and also to remind all of you, please don't go away. The books are available, they're on sale. After we all move down to a reception, please enjoy a glass of wine. The author is here himself to autograph the books for you.
Thank you, Monica, and thank you all for coming this evening. I must have said those about the argumentative Indians who would have realized in the last 1 hour how difficult it is to have an argument with money and try and have the upper hand. But the fact is that if you are working with him and if you deal with him, you better have your intellect really sharp. And I also hope that the proceedings this evening have whetted your appetite to read his book. I think we shouldn't be too concerned about government controlling commanding heights of the economy. I think you see what Britain did during the international crisis. You bought the bank. So you are controlling the commanding heights of the economy. So anyway, there is much more substance in money's books than I think if you look at it on face of it. I think we are going through a change, and I think if you read his books, you'll find that a lot of what he says is pertinent. You don't have to agree with it, but I think we have to understand that perhaps going back to basics is not such a bad idea at all. One thing is, thank you all for coming, and glass of wine waits you downstairs, so we'll do more copies of money's books, and I'm more than happy to sign this for you. Thank you all very much for coming. For me personally, it's very important that you all came. Mani is not just a senior colleague, but a dear friend, and somebody whom we in the service have always looked after. As I said to you, he's a difficult example to emulate, but he's worth emulating. Thank you.
From about 10 years ago, then he went off, did his law degree on his own and set up